Hey guys, it's me, Miss Norris, and welcome to another fun Fall Friday Read Aloud. Today I'll be reading the story The House on Haunted Hill. The story The House on Haunted Hill was written in 2021 by Slade Stone and was illustrated by John Jordan and Leigh Thompson. If you're ready to hear the story, I'm ready to share it with you. Here we go. The House on Haunted Hill. You can see there's some young monsters here. Maybe. It was a cold, eerie night in Booville. The wind howled through the bare trees. The branches clawed at the sky. Owls screeched. Bats shrieked. A full moon rose. From out of the night there came high-pitched squeals and screams. So, all that to say, it's kind of a spooky night in Booville. Oh, stop it. You're scaring me, said Wilson. My knees are shaking, said Kate. But it's all true, said Francine. I was there. That's just how it was up on Haunted Hill. Those strange squealy sounds came from right around that house. But no one has lived there for years, whispered Wilson. So they're telling spooky stories, and they're saying that all these sounds are coming out of the house on the hill, but no one's lived there in years. For 152 years, to be exact, added Frank Jr. Well, someone lives there now. I saw candles in the window. I saw smoke coming from the chimneys, and that squeal. Francine shivered. It was real, all right. Someone should go and find out what's up there. So, Frank Jr. says there's no one who's been there for 152 years. But Francine says, well, that might be true, but there's candles burning in the window and I hear sounds. And Frank says, let's go check it out. You can't mean one of us, said Kate meekly. Count me out, cried Denton, pulling his cape around himself. No way, said Wilson, nervously fidgeting with his wrapping. This does not sound like a venture to which I could commit myself, said Frank Jr., who was turning greener. So everyone kind of agrees that they should go check it out, but everybody seems a little too scared to go do so. What a bunch of scaredy cats, exclaimed Francine. And you, pointing a finger at Frank Jr., my very own brother, afraid of an old house? Well, I'm going to go up there tonight after Halloweening. This is the best mystery to hit Booville in a long time, and I want to find out what's in that house. So, smoothing her hair, which one of you is going to go with me? So, Francine is very disappointed. She is the only one that for sure wants to go. And she's going to go after Halloweening. And she wants everyone to go, especially her brother. Not me, squeaked Kate. Not me, chimed in Denton. Not I, said Frank Jr. Everyone turned to stare at Frank Jr. Not I? Asked Denton with a sneer. It's grammatically correct, said Frank Jr. You see, the subject and the... All right, we believe you. You're the smartest kid in Booville, broke in Francine. She turned to Wilson, who was still fidgeting. Wilson? Not me. I mean, not I. Francine leaned forward and glared at Wilson. Wilson swallowed. He knew he was doomed. Dun dun dun! So, everyone is giving Francine reasons. Well, they're not even giving reasons. They're just saying, not me. I'm not going. Not me, not me, not me. That night, the plan was set. The Booville kids went trick-or-treating together. Then, at 8 o'clock, the group walked down the street, across the small field, and stopped at the bottom of the haunted hill. So that's we're on the edge, friends. They're either going to go up there or they're going to run. I don't know which one I would do, but everything that seems scary is a little less scary with friends. But some things are just too scary. They looked up at the rickety-crickety house with candles in the windows and smoke coming out of the chimneys. The wind moaned. Moo. The kids clung to each other. Come on, Wilson, Francine said at last. Let's go solve this mystery. So, Francine is making Wilson, the mummy, go inside because she said he's the smartest kid in school. But I don't know if he wants to go. Francine is pretty brave. The rest of the kids watched as Francine and Wilson made their way up the twisty, rocky path on Haunted Hill. There at the top was the old house. There was the cold stone porch. There was the big wooden door. And there, Francine and Wilson stopped and stared. You knock, Francine whispered to Wilson. I can't, Wilson whispered back. My hands are busy clutching this sheet. So now that they're up there, Francine doesn't want to knock either. She wants Wilson to do it. And Wilson says he can't because he's holding onto his sheet. Oh, oh, screech, bam, bam, a lam, bam, clank, clank, oh. Weird, warbly, clanky sounds were coming from inside the house. Let's go back, cried Wilson. No way, said Francine. Let's look in the windows. But. It was no use. Wilson plodded along behind Francine as she tiptoed around the corner of the big house and crept up to the candlelit window. She inched up until she could peek over the windowsill. What do you see? Wilson whispered. Boxes and crates. Looks like somebody's moving in here. You should see this stuff. So they're too afraid to knock, but not too afraid to look in the windows. And what they see are crates, like someone is moving in. Wilson nervously tiptoed over and peeked in. Wow! What are those things? Who would have weird stuff like that? Asked Francine. I don't know, said Wilson. Martians? Ooh, baloo. The sounds again, said Francine. They're coming from around the next corner, I think. Boom, ba, da, ba, clank, clank, ooh. Yeah, well, I think I've seen enough and I'm getting out of here. Come on! So Francine thinks that the sounds are just around the corner, and Wilson says, I don't care. I'm out of here. It's way, way, way too scary. Francine grabbed Wilson's sheet and sneaked along the house toward the next corner. Hey, I can't see, cried Wilson. Shh, I hear something. Wait. Something's around the corner, whispered Francine. Oh, I want to go home, moaned Wilson. Shh, let's just peek around. Slowly. So Wilson's at it. He is freaking out. He is ready to go home. Francine is also scared, but she also is very curious and wants to know what's around the corner, but not enough to go by herself. Ah! Screamed Wilson. Ah! Screamed Francine. Ah! Screamed Frank Jr., Denton, and Kate. What are you doing here? Said Francine, picking herself up off the ground. We were worried about you. We heard those noises. So we came looking for you, added Kate. I still can't see, cried Wilson. Come on, we gotta go look in the back window, Frankie, said Francine. It's Frank Jr., if you please, mumbled her brother. So the other friends decided to come up and see if Francine and Wilson were okay because they heard screaming, but ended up scaring them even worse. But now that they're all up there, Francine says, now we have to look. The Booville kids tiptoed quietly along the back of the house. Then 5 wide-eyed faces peered into the back window. Dun, dun, dun! I want you to take a second just now and think what they might be seeing, because it sounds pretty scary. And they're all looking in the window and waiting to see what they see. Cool! A drum set, said Denton. Look at the keyboard, said Kate. Very impressive sound amplification system, added Frank Jr. Wow, an electric guitar, said Wilson. Oh, look at those horns, said Francine. Actually, we called those a trumpet and a tenor sax, said a strange voice. So they're all looking and they're seeing all these awesome instruments. And then they hear a voice that's not one of the 5 of them. And he says that they call those things a trumpet and a tenor sax. Should they look? You think they're going to scream? The 5 wide-eyed faces turned around and stared into the darkness behind them. Who's talking? Asked Denton. So they turned around to look, and even though that was scary, what was even scarier is that it was just darkness, and they couldn't see anything. Oh, hey, sorry about that, cats. Here I am. The Booville kids watched as a white shape slowly appeared before them. It seemed to have a head with big glowing eyes and arms. The white shape moved forward and stared at Wilson. Wilson stared back. The shape stared harder. So the shape is staring at Wilson, who is dressed up like a ghost. And when Wilson stares at the shape is staring harder. I think they're both trying to figure out what's going on. You're no ghost, the shape said. And you're not wearing a sheet, said Wilson. You must be a real ghost. You betcha, the genuine article, the real deal. Just moved in. My name's Slade. The kids all stared at each other. Then they stared at the ghost boy. Who's making those weird noises? Gulped Kate. Weird noises? Man, you cats need lessons in hip haunting. We don't rattle chains anymore. We shake, rattle, and roll, baby. We do the boo wop wop. Come meet the folks and fam. We've got loads of candy. No one else came trick-or-treating tonight. Isn't that strange? The Booville kids didn't think that was strange. So, Slade, the ghost, has just moved in with his family, and he's very friendly and loves music and has invited his new friends inside and thinks that it's been strange that he didn't have any trick-or-treaters, but the kids don't think it's strange, but they're going to go meet his family. They all followed Slade until he went right through the back door. They looked at each other until the door creaked open. Come on in, cats. Step into my parlor. Mom, Dad, Sis, we got our first trick-or-treaters. So Slade went right through the door, and all of his friends stared, and then Slade opened the door from inside, and he's called all of his family over. Out o' sight, said Dad. Groovy, said Mom. Boo-boopy-doo, squeaked his little sister. Let's crank up, do the boogeyman boogie, cried Shade. The Booville kids couldn't believe their eyes or ears as the whole ghost family began whirling through the air, jazzing up the room. So everyone in the ghost family is playing some musical instruments, and they're having a really fun time and amazing the kids. Let's dance, cried Francine, grabbing Wilson's hand. Everyone danced and sang and howled and screamed till midnight. It was a blast. Frank Jr. didn't even mind when Shade called him Daddy-O. It was the hippest Halloween ever up there in the house on Haunted Hill. The end. Ladies and gentlemen, if you enjoyed the story The House on Haunted Hill, please give the story a thumbs up. If you're already a subscriber, thank you so much for your support. It really means a lot to me. If you're not a subscriber yet, please click that subscribe button down at the bottom of the page, and don't forget to click the bell so that you're notified when there's new content. I hope to see you next Friday for another fun fall read aloud. Goodbye.